Hello and welcome. My name's Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. Today we're going to talk about large or wide format sublimation printers. Now, I'm going to talk about sublimation printers only in this video. So these printers use sublimation ink and then you use them for sublimation crafting. If you are wanting a wide format or large format printer that does regular printing for other crafts, I will have a video later this week for you, so stay tuned for that as well. So for sublimation printing, generally I choose an Epson or a Sawgrass printer. And those are the two I'm going to talk about mainly today because I'm going to talk about more budget-friendly options in the large or wide format printer area. Now when I talk about large or wide format printing, I'm talking about 11 inches wide, 13 inches wide, and even larger. We are going to talk about even larger options at the end here because sublimation printers can go very, very large. We're talking 44 inches wide, 64 inches wide, printing on huge rolls of paper. The average crafter probably does not need that. So when you're looking to do larger sublimation designs, what would the average crafter probably look for? So we have a few different options. We have an Epson EcoTank that you can convert to sublimation. We have an Epson SureColor and a Sawgrass printer that all print in larger, wider formats. So the Epson EcoTank, you can convert it to sublimation by adding sublimation ink instead of the ink that comes with the printer. Now an example, a very popular example of a wide format Epson EcoTank is the ET15000. Now there are other versions of EcoTanks that print wider, but that's a very popular version. So when you get that printer, you can not install the ink that comes with the printer and install sublimation ink instead. So you are most likely voiding the warranty of that printer when you do that. And that printer is not cheap. So we are talking budget-friendly options, but you could almost get the Sawgrass option for what you're gonna pay for the EcoTank, generally the prices I see. And the prices do vary on those EcoTanks quite a bit, especially the large wide format ones. And the stock has been going up and down, like sometimes you can't find them. That being said, if you were to find it, convert it, just use caution. So the Epson EcoTanks were not made for sublimation, so they are more prone, in my experience, to issues, clogs, and color issues is one of the big things I see where people can't get the color right coming out of them. So if you are willing to put the time and effort into converting it and getting all your settings, colors, all that just right, just correct, and taking the time to make sure that you are doing all those maintenance things like printing regularly, then the EcoTank might be for you. That's a great option for printing larger and wider prints. If you're saying, that's not for me, Angie, then probably the next option would be the Sawgrass SG1000. So that printer goes up to 11 by 17 just by itself, and then there's a tray you can add that can take you up to like 13 inches wide with a roll of paper that you can print even longer prints on. That tray accessory is more. I will note that right here. However, with the SG1000, you can start printing those really large prints and start adding those to your sublimation blanks, making even larger projects much easier. So in my opinion, the SG1000 is the best deal, as well as the best printer for sublimation in my experience. And I've kind of tried all of these brands. I did not purchase all of the large format printers. I just don't have room for these very, very large printers that we're going to talk about, some of the ones in this video. So I don't have all of the ones in this video, but Sawgrass in general is made for sublimation. If you leave it plugged in, it sort of does its own maintenance. You don't have to worry about printing on it all the time, which is amazing to me. They have a great support system. They will help you if you have issues. And with my Sawgrass printers, I always have the best luck out of my color, just right out of the package. They're the easiest to set up, in my opinion, and the colors are amazing. Now, Epson also makes a dedicated sublimation printer line. And their large format option is the F570, which goes up to 24 inches wide when printing. Now, yes, it does go all the way from the F170, which is just like an 8.5 by 14 inch printer, all the way up to the F570, which is a very large printer. So there is not any in between, and the F570 is quite an investment. But I wanted to mention it here in case you're an Epson fan and you want their sublimation printer, then the Epson 570 is a great option. Comes with sublimation ink. It's made for sublimation. Now, in my experience, those printers don't do their own maintenance. You still need to print on them regularly. But I haven't had a ton of issues with clogs. I have the F170, not the F570. I don't have the big one yet. But with the 170, I don't have a ton of issues with clogs. And the colors are pretty good for me. Now, I have had some people that have had issues with colors when they purchased the F170. So just caution there. But you should have full Epson support when you purchase a dedicated sublimation printer through them. Now, if you're watching this video and you want to go even larger, both Epson and Sawgrass, along with brands like Virtuoso, and there's one called Mutoh, M-U-T-O-H, but there are a variety of brands that make very, very large sublimation printers. Probably larger than I could fit in my craft room because my craft room is not very large. So they will print, I mean, we're talking like 44 inches wide, 64 inches wide, huge wide rolls of paper and lengths, just probably anything you can imagine. So you can get a very large format printer. So if you're running a sublimation business and you want to get into, let's say, adult shirts and you want to sublimate the full shirt all at one time, that's when you would look into some of those very large printers. But I do think you would need more than a craft room, maybe a dedicated craft space or a studio in order to have one of those very large printers. Plus, they are a very large investment. So to me, they are more for people that are running a sublimation business. But if that's you, I don't think you can go wrong with any of those brands. I think when you get up into those price ranges, you are going to get into some very high quality printers and ones that are going to have those customer support options. So yes, do your research if you're going to buy a very large printer, but I don't think you can go wrong. I tend to stick with, I'm just going to be honest, I tend to stick with brands that I know. So I would probably choose an Epson or a Sawgrass regardless of the size that I wanted because I am more familiar with those brands. If you have seen another YouTuber and they are way familiar with, like, let's say the Virtuoso brand and they love it, then by all means use their recommendation. I have not personally tried any of those very large format printers, but I am sure that there are YouTubers out there that can help you. My personal goal with this video was to tell crafters how to go a little bit larger. So for those of you that want to go a little bit larger than 8.5 by 14, I really think one of the printers that I talked about in this video will definitely help. So personally, I would go with the SG-1000 from Sawgrass. That would be my preference. Then after that, for budget constraints probably, I would go with the Epson EcoTank, like the ET-15000, like I talked about as a popular one, and convert that for sublimation. Then after that would probably be the Epson F570, just because it is more expensive than the other options. But you do get a huge 24-inch wide print area, so there are benefits there as well. So hopefully this helps you if you are looking for a wider format sublimation printer. Now, if you're looking for a wide format printer just for crafting, so just for regular prints, just a regular wide format inkjet printer, I will have a video for that later this week, so stay tuned. If you like this video, if it helped you, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about wide format sublimation printers, ask those in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.